Good morning, everyone. I'd like to invite welcome everybody to the August 13th meeting of the Sacramento Area Sewer District. And good, we've got everybody here, I think, that we need. And so, Clerk, could you please call the roll, establish quorum?
Yes, ma'am. Directors Desmond, Dickinson.
Here.
Hume.
Here.
Jennings. Kaplan.
Here.
Kennedy. Orozco.
Here.
Pluckettbaum.
Here.
Rathel.
Here.
Robles.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Sander. Cerna.
Here.
Soon.
Here.
Villegas.
Here.
And Chair Karpinski Costa.
Present, thank you.
You have a quorum with members present.
Thank you. Supervisor Rodriguez, would you lead us in the pledge?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's okay, we're there. Okay. Could you read our statement for public comment?
Yes, ma'am. This meeting of the Sacramento Area Sewer District is live and recorded with closed captioning. It is cablecast on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV U-verse cable systems. It is also live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Sunday, August 17th at 9 a.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once posted, the recording of this meeting can be viewed and on demand at youtube.com/Metro Cable 14. In accordance with Government Code 54952.3, compensation for the meeting of these legislative bodies is required to be verbally disclosed. The amount of $100 will be paid for each member participating today as a member of the Sacramento Area Sewer District. Compensation for Sacramento County supervisors, cities of Sacramento and Rancho Cordova council members is paid to the county and city respectively to partially offset the costs of those governments. Compensation for other board members is delivered to the individuals. To make an in-person public comment, please complete a speaker request form and hand it to the clerk. The chairperson will call your name when it's your turn to make a comment. You may send written comments by email to boardclerk@saccounty.gov. Your comment will be routed to the board and filed in the record. This concludes your announcement.
Thank you. Make a correction, though, the City of Citrus Heights compensation goes to the city as well, not to the individual.
I'll make that correction.
Thank you. I think now we need to adjourn to a closed session.
Yes.
And we'll be back. We're back in session. There's no reportable action taken at our closed session. And Clerk, could you please call the roll to establish quorum again?
Yes, ma'am. Directors Dickinson.
Aye.
Hume.
Here.
Kaplan.
Here.
Orozco.
Here.
Pluckettbaum. Rathel.
Here.
Robles. Rodriguez.
Here.
Cerna.
Here.
Soon.
Here.
Villegas. And Karpinski Costa.
Present.
You have a quorum with the members present.
Great. Could you call the first item, please?
The first item is to approve the consent matters, items 1 through 3.
Do any of our members want to pull or discuss for any reason any 1 through 3?
Can we pull item number 3?
Pulling item number 3, do I have a motion for items 1 and 2?
I'll move consent 1 and 2.
Second. Second.
May I get who moved the motion?
Rodriguez and Soon.
Okay, thank
At
you.
least I could see that far.
Do we have any public comment on this items?
Do we have any public comment on 1 and 2?
We do not have any public comment.
Okay, can you call item 3, please?
Yes. Item 3 is contract number 8000173, approve the First Amendment to the agreement with Leonakis to provide architectural engineering design services for the North Area Corporation Yard New Administration Building.
Who pulled this item?
I did.
What's up?
Really, I was kind of just surprised at the cost, not for the engineering and design services, but more the overall cost of the building. $35 million for a 30,000 square foot building on property that I believe is owned by the district. So that's $1,167 a square foot for an office building. So I just kind of wanted to see if there are other options that have been looked at or pursued. Obviously, there's been a big downturn in the office market, and so just kind of wanted to understand what other options are there, or if this is the best path forward.
Well, keep in mind, this is our corporation yard, so it wouldn't be just purchasing an office building. The corporation yard would have to be part of that. But I did want to ask Rosemary Clark to share some of the costs. This is a little bit of a unique project. One of the issues is that we have to keep staff going while the building's under construction, so there's a whole other component to it. But I'll let Rosemary share some of the kind of the uniqueness of this project.
Sure.
Thank you.
So these costs here are midpoint of construction costs, so that's December of 2027, so those are escalated costs. The building itself is about $900 per square foot, but we have demo, we have modulars that we're going to put staff in because it's going to be an active site still. And then we've done everything we can to kind of like make sure we're using the utilities that are nearby and doing all the things, but that is our estimate at this time, yeah.
Okay.
And there was some buildings looked at the same time, and it's, if you project them forward, it's actually within that range.
Thank you for that clarification. $900 a square foot in 2027 makes me much more comfortable, so I'm happy to move item number 3.
I'll second.
Is there any public comment on this item?
We do not have any public comment. The
Okay.
motion was by Rachel Kaplan and second by Rachel
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you may vote.
Can we vote on that?
You may vote.
Madam Chair, did we vote on the other two items?
I don't think we did. I don't remember pushing the little button.
Of entire consent.
That's for item 3 that was pulled.
Yes.
I'll move consent, the other items.
Second?
Kaplan and Hume for the second item. So you may vote. The motion passes for the items that were pulled unanimously.
Okay. Next item, please.
Your next item is comments from the public on issues not on the agenda, posted agenda. We do not have any speaker slips and do not have any public comment.
Okay, next item.
Item 5 is miscellaneous director and district engineer matters. Director's discussion of issues for future consideration, district engineer administrative updates, and points of note on communications received and filed.
Good morning, Chair and board members. Very quickly, we have our second meeting in August canceled, so the next meeting will be September 10th, and that's going to be at our Echowater facility. So we're excited to have you all down there. And with that, I have one more section manager I want to introduce that you have not met yet. So this is Catherine Wild, over there. She's our information security officer. Catherine has over 36 years of government services, and I, as long as I can remember, I've known Catherine, so it feels like she's been around for a while. She started as a student at SacSewer as a programmer, developing a sewer modeling program and programming for our flow monitoring group. She has a bachelor's degree in computer science with a specialty in system software and a minor in mathematics from Sac State. Prior to the information security career, she was hired into Sacramento County's Public Works Management Information Systems, old MIS, as a programmer analyst at a transformative technological time. The internet was not widely used or available yet, and desktop computers were just starting to be deployed. She supported all the public works departments and was provided with some great opportunities to successfully deploy many new computer technology systems not previously available in Sacramento County. 2003, SacSewer reached out and asked her to consider developing and leading the information technology group for SacSewer. Upon her manager's retirement in 2005, Catherine was assigned to manage the technical support section, which included IT, GIS, documentation, data management, graphics design, and AutoCAD. And then in 2016, SacSewer executive team assigned her to lead the information security efforts for both control systems and our business systems networks, which she's very honored and excited to accept. And in January 2025, she received the official title of Information Security Officer. Catherine's credentials also include Information Security Certification, GIAC, I don't know what that one was, Certified Information Professional, 2015 Security Leadership in Local Government, and that's awarded by the state of California. She also has a national level award recently presented this year by the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, which I do know. It's MSISAC. You may have heard of that. And that was in recognition of exemplary leadership and significant contributions to the community. With over 18,000 government agencies in that membership, only 7 received that award. And her last sort of cryptic message is that she plans on retiring sometime, but when is the question. Thank you, Catherine.
Welcome.
And that's all I had.
On behalf of our board, I just want to say thank you, Christoph, for bringing forward our illustrious and talented staff at every meeting. I hope the public gets to see how our district is staffed with so competent and wonderful people, and young people can see some career paths they might choose. And so thank you for bringing all of our staff forward. With that, can we have the next item, please?
Next item, Madam Chair, is contract number 8000213, approve the selection of an agreement with HDR Engineering Incorporated to provide engineering services for the East Rancho Cordova Interceptors Project. Presenters Jose Ramirez, Senior Civil Engineer.
Just briefly, while Jose's getting ready, I just want to mention we have the last interceptor we built was a lower northwest interceptor. Our major interceptor expansion program was back in the 90s and early 2000s, a couple $2 billion program, but we haven't done interceptors for a long time. And typically we don't do presentations just on a project that we're asking your approval for, but it's a pretty big project. And again, we're getting into this building an interceptor, and so I thought it would be a good opportunity. So take it away, Jose.
Thank you, Christoph. Is my microphone on?
Metro, could we get assistance, please? It's on.
It's on. Thank you. Good morning, members of the board. My name is Jose Ramirez. I'm a senior civil engineer in the Policy and Planning Department. I'm here to provide a presentation on the proposed East Rancho Cordova Interceptors Project, also known as the ERC project. The presentation includes some background history about the project, the drivers or need for the project, some project details, and then the recommended action for today that is on your board agenda to award the design contract to HDR Engineering. The project is located in the eastern part of Sacramento County in the city of Rancho Cordova, south of Highway 50, east of the Folsom South Canal, along sections of White Rock Road and Sunrise Boulevard. There are 2 projects that are being combined into one. The first interceptor is the White Rock Interceptor, is the blue line along White Rock Road. The second interceptor is the Aerojet Interceptor, is the yellow line. Those 2 projects combined are the ERC project. How do you get here? SacSewer, we do long-term planning. And at each level of planning, we redefine the project. At the 30,000-foot level, we started with the Interceptor Master Plan 2000. At that time, we identified 3 interceptors to serve this area: the broadshot, Mather, and Aerojet interceptors. The broadshot interceptor was built in the mid-2000s. In 2006, we started the design for the Mather interceptor, which is shown on this map. However, in 2008, there was a significant downturn in the housing market, and the projections, the growth was not happening, so the district decided to cancel that project at that time. Then in 2011, groups from collections and the conveyance department did a joint effort with a better definition of the service areas. The service areas or sewer sheds are shown on this map. There are seven areas. They include Anatolia, Rio de Lodo, Westboro, Aerojet Lands, Cordova Hills, Wagel, and Sun Creek. At that time, in 2011, the district identified 3 interceptors. The White Rock interceptor, which is the blue line going along from left to right on the top of the screen. And then the Aerojet interceptor going from the south north to Sunrise Boulevard. And then from east to west at the bottom is what is called the Douglas interceptor. We also identified several potential local pump stations for the collection systems and trunk lines. Those are shown in yellow on the map. So at each level, we are defining the project even better. Then in 2013, Regional SAN updated the Interceptor Master Plan 2000 through the Interceptor Sequence Study, or ISS. The ISS identified 3 projects: White Rock, Aerojet, and the Douglas interceptor. More recently, in 2020, our collections department completed the System Capacity Plan 2020, and it's shown on this map. The System Capacity Plan 2020 eliminated the Douglas interceptor, but we still have remaining for implementation the Aerojet and White Rock interceptors, which are shown on this map. So we have over 20 years of planning that we have done, but at each level, we are better defining how to provide wastewater collection and conveyance services for these areas. So what are the drivers for the ERC project? Number one, we have increased in development growth rate in the sewer shed areas at this location. Some of the existing assets that we have, like the Crisanti pump station, which is labeled as S132 on this map, those assets are reaching capacity, and we need an interceptor solution. If we don't relieve those assets and replace them, then in about 9 years, if growth continues to develop, we may have to implement a moratorium unless we implement an interceptor solution to relieve that area. So what is the recommended ERC project? This map, north is to the left side of the map on the screen. The Aerojet project is the line shown in orange color. It starts on the right-hand side, connecting the red dot, which is near the Crisanti pump station. It then goes north along Sunrise Boulevard. It goes a little bit west along the ongoing Rio del Oro development, which is shown on top of the map. It goes to White Rock Road, and then from White Rock Road, it goes west to the existing Broadshot interceptor. And it will pass the Folsom South Canal and connect to the Broadshot interceptor at Kilgore Road. One of the key components of the project is the crossing of the Folsom South Canal. That permitting effort could be in the critical path, so we will pay special attention to that. We need to get permits from the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, and that could take in the order of 2 to 3 years to get that permit. Due to the constraints for the project alignment and the depth of the gravity pipelines, we will utilize both open cut and trenchless construction methods to build this project. Some project details. So it's a new gravity interceptor pipeline, about 21,000 linear feet of pipe, Pipe diameters range from 60 to 72 inches in diameter. The estimated budget for the engineering services contract, which is being brought to your board today, the estimate is about, the cost is $10.1 million. The total capital project cost, including engineering services, is about $105 million. The schedule, design is scheduled to begin this month, pending your board's approval today, and the design will go on through April 2028. Construction is scheduled to begin in May 2028 and go through August 2031. So we have two requested actions for you today. Number one is to approve the selection of HDR and to direct the district engineer to execute the agreement with HDR to provide the engineering services contract. With that, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer those.
Questions? I have one question. Has the city of Rancho Cordova, because I don't see Director Sander here, has the city of Rancho Cordova commented on this project?
Yeah, that's a great question. I appreciate it. With the city of Rancho Cordova, we have monthly coordination meetings with the city staff, with our city public works director, Albert Strickland. So he knows about the project. When we were going to release the request for proposals for the project, we gave Albert and his staff an opportunity to be part of the selection panel. They were quite busy, so they chose not to participate. But we coordinate with them on a monthly basis.
So they're on board with traffic issues and everything that's going to happen back in 2028?
They know the project needs to happen to provide service to that area, so they will work with us.
Well, I'm sure they don't want to stop development in the next few years, so we got a lot to go. Okay, any other questions?
Madam Chair, when you're ready, I'd move approval of the item.
Madam Chair, I have a quick question, if I could.
Good question, go for
Yeah,
it.
very quick. First of all, thank you for the presentation. That's what I love about the district. This is long-term planning, 25 years in the making, and here we are. Just a question. So ultimately, this interceptor line, maybe it's a simple, easy question, it connects to what eventually becomes a lower northwest interceptor. Is that right? I mean, I didn't see any pump stations, and so, or is that completely separate, or is that one continuous system that it's connecting to?
It does. I'll let Jose.
I can take. Thank you. Thank you for the question. The lower northwest interceptor starts at in the city of Citrus Heights. It goes west along Greenback Lane through Elkhorn Boulevard, Natomas, then into Yolo County to the city of West Sacramento, and then back into Sacramento County along Consumers River Boulevard. It's a separate system from the Bradshaw interceptor, which is going to serve this area. These are two separate.
Completely separate. Okay.
Completely separate.
It just seemed like it would be one continuous system, but it's completely separate. Very good. Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Who made the first?
I did.
First by Director Soon, second by
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
And this is the motion for the contract?
To approve the item, yes.
Well, there's two things we have to do. One is to approve the company, and the other is to authorize the contract. So we want two separate motions?
No, it's the same, yeah.
Okay, one motion. Okay.
You may
Moved
vote.
and seconded. Let's vote.
And your motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
I know I'm backing up, but was any public comment on this?
We have no public comment.
Okay. Sometimes I forget, because it's so quiet in here, and I don't see anybody rushing up with speaker sheets. Is the next item, please?
Madam Chair, the next item is number 7, update to SacSewer's implementation of the Advanced Clean Fleet Regulations. Presenter Mike Hewitt, Director of Policy and Planning.
Thank you. Can you pull a presentation for item 7, please?
Metro, could we get assistance on the presentation, please? There you go.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Excuse me. Mike Hewitt, Director of Policy and Planning. So I'm here today to present on a brief presentation on SacSewer's implementation of the Advanced Clean Fleets Regulations. I this is really an update from the presentation that was provided to your board back in December 2023, which described how we're going to implement these regulations for SacSewer. I do want to introduce Gus Favalora, and he is our fleet manager, expert in that arena, and knows all about fleet. So if there's specific questions about our fleet, we got him here. So next. Brief history of California's carbon goals. So back in 2020, the governor signed an executive order to transition vehicles to 100% zero-emission vehicles. And it was intended to support the carbon neutral goals of 2045 for California. And in 2023, the California Air Resources Board, CARB, passed the Advanced Clean Fleets Regulation, which had sweeping effects on fleet management for all industries, and specifically ours as well. We have been engaged with our industry partners since, and are working with the folks across the state to try to figure out, how we're going to be able to implement these regulations. So, what are the ACF requirements? Well, it goes back to the goal of having all zero-emission vehicles. And zero-emission vehicles are battery electric, EVs, and hydrogen-powered vehicles. So the requirements started pretty quickly in 2024. It said all 50% of all medium and heavy-duty vehicles that are purchased need to be ZEVs. And then pretty quick after that, in 2027, it's required that 100% of medium and heavy-duty vehicles purchased are ZEVs. There's limited flexibility for SacSewer. We can apply for an extension or an exemption. The extensions are more for if there's like supply chain issues. You order a ZEV and you think it's going to come in, 6 months, and it takes much longer. You can maybe qualify for a extension. Or infrastructure for the charging, construction for that, there's a long delay, you might be able to qualify. And there's some funding options as well. So it does take applying and getting the CARB to approve the extension or the exemption. So an exemption will apply to, if we have a vehicle, non-ZEV vehicle, that's critical for operations, and there's no ZEV on the market for that, we can apply for an exemption until there is one. So we have been meeting all the ACF regulations. In 2024, we purchased 70 EVs. And in 2025, we have so far purchased 3 and are planning to purchase an additional 4 before year's end. Those EVs, it's been about $715,000. There's definitely a cost component with implementing these regulations. As far as infrastructure goes, we are improving that as well, so we can accommodate this new EV fleet. We've added 4 level 2 chargers. They're dual handles, so it can have like 8 ports in total. And we've also added a level 3 fast charger that was just commissioned just real recently. It's about $150,000 for that fast charger from the design and commissioning it. And our advanced fleet management systems, we have now sort of an advanced GPS and telematics system, which helps us understand range of the EVs and helps us really maximize the trip management to really accommodate the limitations of EVs. I also want to note, emphasizing the cost aspect of this, there's our budget for this year, it's about 7.8 million to purchase vehicles. In 2027, when we're going to have to go 100%, it's going to bump that 2 to 3 times. So we're planning for a $20 million purchasing budget for fleet. So it's significant. We are exploring the market for ZEVs to find if we can find other options that meet functional and operational needs for our medium and heavy duty fleet. So where are we going from here? Well, we are doing everything we can to minimize the cost. with implementing these new regulations. One of the areas that we're really focused on is navigating and evaluating the infrastructure costs. So we don't want to underdo it, so we're not prepared for this new flux of EVs, but we also don't want to overdo it. So we're balancing that out. We are advocating with our partners, California Association of Sanitary District Agencies, statewide coalition, and the California Special Districts Association to help with bills and regulations to accommodate, our needs and try to make this a softer landing for us. We're also working really closely with our partners, SMUD and Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District, on the different charging needs and trying to find incentives and grants. And we're also directly engaged with CARB to pursue regulatory changes and again, kind of trying to help match up what works best for us and also, help meet the goals that are established through the exemptions and extensions. So, yeah, we're exploring options. This is a very fast evolving technology, and there's a lot of new options available, but we also need to make sure that they meet our operational needs, and we're also looking at the fiduciary side of it as well. So it's almost three-pronged. We're making sure we're complying. We want to make sure it meets our operational needs, and we're trying to do it at the best cost we can. So I'll leave it at that, unless there's questions.
Mr. Dickinson.
Thanks for the presentation. I appreciate the efforts made by the district to comply with this requirement and see it as something that actually is beneficial, not just to the district ultimately, but to the community at large. I'm curious whether you are tracking your electric usage for charging to someday, if not now, someday compare what the cost of operation is, especially for essentially the substitute for fueling, which is charging, compared to what our charges were or our costs were related to a fossil fuel driven fleet, because we have big, as you've noted, big capital costs associated with this transition. But ultimately, not only is it good for the environment, but I would think it could be good for the district in terms of operating costs as well, being reduced for the fleet operation.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look to Gus here, but I'll do it quick. We do have that new system, the telematics, that helps us with all the analytics. So operationally, I do think, look to Gus to answer here. Come on up, Gus. But we'll be able to compare the operational cost of EV versus, the ICE vehicles, internal combustion engine vehicles, long term. But here's Gus.
Good morning, and that's a great question. We are trying to evaluate total cost of ownership, so we do look at that as a analytic we're looking at. So when we look at the number, we try to look at all of that. Based on historical data that we have in industry-wide usage as well.
So do you have any sufficient amount of data now to make a comparison, or are you still early on enough with your EV replacements that you want to wait a little while before you make those kinds of comparisons?
We're still at the evaluation portion of the data, so we're still waiting on that.
Okay. Well, look forward to seeing information on that. The other question I had is what challenges you're experiencing in acquisition, especially of heavy-duty ZEVs, because those have been more challenging to develop. So I'm just curious, it wasn't clear to me from either the staff report or the presentation if you were acquiring any heavy-duty ZEVs at this point. It looked like they were all medium-duty, but I wasn't clear. So just on that point, if you can elaborate a little bit.
Absolutely. There are some challenges as far as finding the infrastructure to accommodate that, as well as being able to find the vehicles that meet the operational demand. One of the challenges would be weight of the vehicles and finding vehicles that meet bridge law requirements and other standards, because a lot of our vehicles are very heavy as is. So when you add the additional weight of the battery to it, it significantly increases it. So we're trying to find the happy medium on where we could, which vehicles, medium and heavy, meet the standard that we could procure and add into our fleet without causing an operational impact.
And you listed the partners you're working with, which all make complete sense. I was also wondering, because regional transit is going through a transition as well from natural gas to electric for and potentially hydrogen for the bus fleet, but also they've got, I think, been looking at heavy duty vehicles as well as ZEVs. And I just wonder if you've had any conversations with RT about how they're going at this issue, and if you haven't, if you think that would be worthwhile.
I do think that'd be worthwhile. We have had conversations with a large amount of local municipalities. RT is not one of them, so I'll make sure to reach out to them as well. But we regularly have conversations with other agencies, public agencies and municipalities.
I mean, maybe this isn't so much for SacSewer, but maybe a lot of us sit on the Air District Board as well. Maybe this is something the Air District could be a convener for all the if they aren't already, for folks going through this transition, especially with the medium and heavy duty fleets, which I think are still a bigger challenge. Anyway, maybe that's something for them to think about. We'll make that suggestion in that forum. But thanks again for the information and for the effort.
Thank you.
Director Villegas?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted exactly that. Thank you, Roger, for surfacing that. I think it's imperative that we reach out to the sister agencies that represent this district, certainly, because I know for a fact, just in YOLO alone, we have several vehicles that we need to purchase, and I think there's tremendous value in at least pursuing the opportunity or the potential to buy in bulk. In the event that there's even that available. I mean, I know our staff are struggling just to try to find vendors, let alone deliver on time. So we're struggling with that. But I suspect if we are all talking together, there may be some value in that, at least exploring it. So, yeah, thank you.
Director Cerner?
Thank you. So in the same vein, I'll start with a question and then maybe offer a suggestion here. But the question is there anything in state law that would prohibit the district from partnering with a private entity in terms of finding economies of scale for the procurement of infrastructure, whether it be charging stations or the capacitors, whatever it might be? And if not, what I would suggest is reaching out to my staff, my office. We have in the first supervisorial district a number of projects, some of which are just coming to light, some of which have been in the planning process for a few years now, for both medium and heavy duty charging. And so I just, again, along with the suggestions that you look to our sister agencies who might be trying to comply with the same state law and kind of critical dates in which to have everything in place for the general switch to zero emission. I would offer the fact that we shouldn't overlook that we have some private sector activity in that same space. And again, if there's nothing legally that prohibits the ability for the district to entertain partnering or maybe collective purchasing power, I think that's something too that is worth exploring.
Yeah, and I'm not sure the state law on that and whether or not we can, coordinate with the private. We'll definitely look out and check into that, though. I definitely hear the theme here of working with the sister agencies in the area to see if we can come together and maybe, some even sharing with resources and whatnot. And we'll continue reaching out. We do have a relationship with RT, and we've been in contact with them for a number of other things. I don't know if this one in particular, but we'll keep reaching out.
Great. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? I think this is just an information item.
Receive and file.
Okay. Any public comment on this item?
We do not have any public comments.
Is there a next item? I think that this is when I'd like to ask if there is any other future considerations from any directors that want to discuss or put something to staff. The future items that was, is up here back in discussion of items for future consideration. We skipped over. Any? Seeing none? Are there any other items?
Yes. Item number 8, Madam Chair, is bond trustee
Oh,
report.
how could I forget this guy?
Sorry. Bond trustee report of the Northern California Sanitation Agency's Financing Authority for the fourth quarter ended June 30th, 2025. It's also receive and file.
There's no action items on those, so usually we don't vote on those. It's just if you have a comment. Yeah.
Okay, so we have miscellaneous communications received and filed. And there's that one, and then that's item 9, is a quarterly report. Are there any comments or questions about these items? Okay. I think we're adjourned.